If you don't come up and actually see it, you may not realize how bad the drought actually is.
Dire drought conditions are revealing a rare piece of Utah history. Right now, one Utah reservoir, Gunnison, is completely dried up. 9 others are below 30% capacity, and 26 are below 55%.
And that includes Rockport Reservoir in Summit County, where parts of Pioneer-era buildings are starting to resurface. You might see water levels like this in October, but never this early. News specialist Mike Anderson is there to show us how the drought is revealing that piece of history.
Just beyond the cracked debris of the old highway.
So the first building that you can see, it usually is exposed every year. It's sitting around, about 60%.
You get the outline of an old building. Rockport State Park manager Eric Bradshaw says you can usually count on seeing that one, but further down the road,
the other foundations, you don't see them nearly as often.
As Bradshaw shows from a photo album of the area over the years, you can see the 2 buildings just off the current highway and this picture of what appears to be the second one, what looks like an old schoolhouse.
It is kind of cool because it's, it's still history. This used to be a town. It was a fort before it was a town. It's called Rockport.
That fort dating back to the mid-1800s.
European settlers came in, established a little community there.
John Perry, Assistant General Manager of the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District.
They were having some conflicts with the natives. They ended up building kind of a rock wall around their settlement.
Says that's where Rockport got its name, but towards the end of the 19th century.
The rock wall came down. They used the materials that were used for that rock fort to construct some other facilities and buildings.
At one time, a settlement of around 100 was here. That dwindled to about 27 families by the 1950s.
And so at that point, the federal government came in and bought the land, relocated several of those historic buildings.
And that's when Rockport, along with several other reservoirs, were created in the Weber Basin. Perry says it's not all that unusual to have them over old settlements, but a bit more rare to have that history show up again.
To be this low, it's pretty eye-opening, hopefully, for people.